All right, let's kick off here with the chain rule, which is what we're going to use on some of our more complex functions. We're going to use this a lot throughout the year, so hopefully you get comfortable with it fairly quickly here. The chain rule is going to be used on composite functions, so right, f of g of x, right, if there's a function inside of a function. And the chain rule, it must be used for any and all composite functions. So if you have a composite function, the chain rule has to be used. If it doesn't look exactly like one of the rules we memorized, if there's something that's slightly different, you're probably using the chain rule, and it's because it's a composite function. The chain rule can also be used multiple times for complex functions. So if you have, for example, well, the basic complex or the basic composite function, right, is f of g of x, but if you have h of f of g of x, you can repeat the chain rule. You basically do the chain rule twice here, once for the f of g of x and then a second time for the g of x. Now, what is the chain rule? The chain rule is that the derivative of a composite function, which I then proceeded to not write, so f of g of x, the way that you do it is you take the derivative of the outer function, so the f prime, you plug in g of x, completely the same, and then you multiply by the derivative of the inner function. So you take the derivative of the outer function, take g of x, plug it in to the outer function, then you multiply by the derivative of the inner function. So that's the chain rule. It becomes easier to see what's going on when we actually get into examples. So go ahead, jump into those next.